This channel forms an aura of success, prosperity, and abundance. Most people believe that the greatest challenge is achieving success. Get there. To achieve. To reach. This belief is understandable. It is incomplete. Because conquering is only the beginning. The real challenge is maintaining it. And almost no one talks about it. Maintaining success requires something very different from achieving success. Success can happen with momentum. Maintaining requires a state. That's the law. What arrives quickly without proper internal conditioning? He leaves quickly for the same reason. Nothing remains where internal time is still being rushed. Nothing can stand where the mind still runs. Nothing thrives where the body still lives as if everything were temporary. Lasting success is born when internal time slows down after the achievement, and not before. This is the point that separates those who go up, of those who remain. Most people, upon achieving something important, accelerate their pace even further. It protects too much, too controlling, too watchful. The body goes on alert. The mind goes into a state of alertness. The state is contracting. And what has been achieved begins to weigh heavily, not because success is a burden, but that's because the internal state hasn't yet learned to stay still. Staying is a rare skill. Stay calm when something goes right, to remain whole when something grows, to be present when there is no more fighting. Many know how to fight, few know how to stay. True success begins to be tested after the victory, when there is no longer any external urgency, when there is no longer any justification for running. There, the state appears. If the mind becomes anxious, success begins to dissolve. If the body becomes tense, abundance begins to slip away. If internal time accelerates, prosperity is losing ground. This always happens, not by bad luck. For the sake of consistency. The world responds to the state you maintain after achieving it, not because of the effort you made to get here. This is the law that almost no one sees. Maintaining success requires a completely different relationship with time. Time ceases to be the enemy. Stop being so pressured. It's no longer a scarcity issue. Time becomes an ally, but only for those who no longer run on the inside. When you are still running internally, success becomes something to be defended. And everything that needs to be defended, it's already threatened. Calmness is not the absence of ambition. It's a sign of state maturity. Calmness tells the world, this can stay. This is inevitable. Enduring success thrives in states that do not react, which are not justified, those who are not in a hurry. Reactive states create cycles, calm states create continuity. The difference between those who have peaks and who has permanence, it's not about talent. It's not an internal rhythm. Success, abundance, and prosperity don't like haste. They like stability, emotional stability, identity stability, stability of presence. When something is achieved and you remain the same inside, something becomes fixed. When something is achieved and you change your state, something breaks. The breakup isn't always visible. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's silent, but it starts in the same place, due to the inability to sustain time without urgency. The mind that still runs after the conquest. It is saying, this could end, and the world responds to that message, always. Maintaining success doesn't require vigilance. It requires body confidence, trust, not belief, but as a feeling. The feeling that there's no need to rush, that there is no need to prove it, that there's no need to defend yourself. This sensation creates a stable field. Stable fields support prosperity. Unstable fields drain. When success arrives and you remain in a state of war, it becomes heavy. When it arrives and you enter a state of permanence, it becomes light. Light doesn't mean small. It means integrated. Integrated success doesn't take up too much space. It fits. And everything that fits, stays. Most people fail because they never learn to relax when they're successful. Relaxing doesn't mean neglecting yourself. It's about stopping reacting. Constant reaction indicates fear of loss. Fear of loss creates scarcity. Internal scarcity always triumphs over external abundance. That's the law. The prosperity that endures is that which finds a nervous system trained for continuous gain. Not for a one-off gain, not to the peak. Continuous success requires emotional predictability. When something good happens and you always react the same way, calmly, with presence and firmness, the system learns. Learn that it's safe. Learn that you can stay. And when the system learns, the world organizes itself. Maintaining success doesn't require doing more. It demands that the state not be disrupted. Most people lose their way after the conquest because they changed their identity. Before, it was the one who fought. Then, you don't know who it is. This transition creates a void. An emptiness breeds instability. Instability repels. Lasting success requires an identity that doesn't depend on struggle to exist. You are still you. When you don't need to rush, this identity is rare. She doesn't need urgency to feel alive. She doesn't need pressure to feel valued. She simply is. And the world responds to this with continuity. Calmness is not a prize. It's a requirement. Without calm, nothing great endures. Without calm, everything becomes an event, and events come to an end. Lasting prosperity resides in states that are not overly excited. They don't contract too much either. Balance is not neutrality. It's a domain, mastery of rhythm, control of reactions. Mastery of internal time. Who masters internal time? Permanence dominates. Most people still live as if they are behind the times. Even after conquering. This internal delay leads to hasty decisions. Haste creates invisible errors. Invisible mistakes erode what has been built. Maintaining success requires active patience. I have no patience to wait, but have the patience not to mess with what's working. Many people destroy their own success by trying to improve it too quickly. Improvement takes time. Integration requires silence. Success that respects time deepens. What is deepened is not lost. You don't lose something that's part of you. The abundance that remains ceases to be something you own, and it becomes something that you are. And when something becomes an identity, he doesn't need to be protected. He expresses himself. This expression is natural, effortless, no defense. The world trusts those who don't defend their own worth. Excessive defensiveness indicates insecurity. Insecurity weakens the field. Maintaining prosperity requires quiet security. Do not advertise. No need to justify. Don't accelerate. Calmness conveys power. Time responds to calm. This always works. Perhaps now you'll notice something different. An internal slowdown. A feeling that there is nothing left to prove. This is the beginning of the state that maintains. There is no euphoria. There is no urgency. There is a presence. Presence is the foundation of permanence. Without presence, everything quickly becomes the past. With presence, the now extends. And it is in the now extended form that success lies. Enduring success goes unnoticed. He builds trust. Trust creates long-lasting relationships. Long-term relationships create lasting prosperity. None of this happens by chance. It's a state. Most people want to maintain results without maintaining the state that sustains them. That's not possible. The result is a reflection. The state is the cause. If the state changes, the outcome changes. Maintaining the status quo means maintaining the outcome. Simple, inevitable. Perhaps this is the first time you've felt this way. That doesn't require rushing to maintain. This feeling doesn't come from words. It comes from internal recognition. Something inside you knows that this is true. And when you know, you change the rhythm. When the rhythm changes, the world is watching. That's the law.